innovation, all systems are a go. You're clear for launch.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Amy Ches, and I'll be your moderator for the duration of this awards ceremony. I could not be more excited to welcome you today to the final round of the 2023 Optometry Innovation Awards. Many of you might be thinking, what are the Optometry Innovation Awards? Well, this program was designed to cultivate innovation in the field of optometry. Applicants from around the United States submitted their ideas for a chance to win a part of $40,000 in prize money to assist in bringing their innovation to life. While Eyes on Eye Care is leading the charge on this new program, these awards would simply not be possible without the support of Dompe, the exclusive sponsor of the 2023 Optometry Innovation Awards. Innovation is a foundational aspect of their organization and how they operate. Dompe Pharmaceuticals has found success through the vision and determination of their team in conducting compelling research and creating impactful innovations, a core reason why they are proud to sponsor a program dedicated to those who seek to create cutting-edge products or services in the eye care industry. Thank you, Dompe, for all you do to continue to support innovation. Before we dive into announcing our finalists, let me give you a quick overview of the rules behind the submission process. Applicants were required to bring forth a concept that focused on one of the following key areas of innovation: improving patient care, improving workflow and efficiency for optometry practices, elevating the state of the optometric profession, raising awareness among consumers, or enhancing educational accessibility within the eye care community. The submissions were also evaluated and scored based on a set outline of criteria that they had to follow. To begin, applicants were asked to provide an introduction to their innovative idea and explain how it solves a current problem in the industry. They then had to provide a market analysis, management structure, and an in-depth breakdown of their product or service. Next, they were asked to explain the strategy around introducing their concept into the market, including financial projections and an analysis of the possible obstacles they could face. Lastly, they had to advise what the prize money would help them accomplish in bringing their idea to life. The numerous entries received in our second annual Optometry Innovation Awards was judged by a panel of 4 optometrists and entrepreneurs in the industry. 3 of the judges are members of Eyes on Eye Care: CEO Dr. Matt Geller, President of Visionary Medical Education Dr. Michael Cooper, and Director of Client Services Dr. Antonio Chirambolo. Our other esteemed judge includes Dr. Jackie Garlick, founder of 2020 Glance and Envision Optometry. We're excited to have 3 of our judges joining us live today to participate in the final round of the awards, where they'll be interviewing our finalists for the last time to determine who our first, second, and third place award winners will be. Before I announce our 3 finalists, I wanted to take a moment and also recognize select honorees from our outstanding list of applicants. These individuals showcase some truly incredible ideas. You can check out more about these honorees and their ideas anytime during Eyes on 2024 by heading over to the Innovation Zone, found in the navigation bar on the left-hand side of your screen. Or if you are on a mobile device, at the top right corner in the drop-down menu. We'll also share a direct link to the Innovation Zone right on this page after our awards ceremony ends, so be sure to check it out. All right, and now on to the exciting part. I'll announce each finalist by name, share a brief video with you of their concept, and then we'll bring them on live for a final round of Q&A with our judges. So without further ado, I'm proud to announce the top 3 finalists for the 2023 Optometry Innovation Awards. First up, finalist number 1 is Dr. Peter Huffman and Amanda Bennett with their automated and personalized rapid vision assessment technology. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Pete Huffman, and I'm here to talk about IHR with my business partner, Amanda Bennett. Before I do, I'd like to take a moment and thank the judges and the administrators at Eyes on Eye Care for their consideration. I really admire and appreciate what you guys are doing for the community of optometry. I graduated from Nuinco in 2001 and opened up my own practice in 2008. I have been blessed with some truly incredible staff. Some of them have been with me a very long time and even through the pandemic. But by far, my biggest challenge has been recruiting and hiring new staff as we have grown. It was difficult before COVID, but became very hard after COVID. It seemed like the only options out there were recruiters and job boards, and they weren't working for us. I would attend roundtable discussions, and the subject of staff was always a sore topic at all the CE I attended. It was clear that this was a major pain point for all of us. Job boards have gotten increasingly expensive, and our ads were just one of thousands. They produced a lot of applications, but the applicants came poorly equipped for success. Recruiters were cost prohibitive for us as a smaller but rapidly growing practice. We needed a more competitive and a sophisticated way to attract talent. We also believe that the employee-employer relationship begins with the hiring process, and it's important to follow best practices. But we found those practices to be very time intensive. And when you're short-handed, time is the one resource you're very short on. IHR gives the independent optometrist the ability to accept digital applications, just like every other major retailer competing for the talent in the same labor pool. We also provide the practice with a turnkey management of their open positions. With one toggle, they can post their position to our job board, our social media page, and their own social media page, along with any other partners through the use of our API. We give the applicant an extraordinary hiring experience, while the practice saves time at a fraction of the cost of recruiters and job boards. We offered structured, predictable subscription plans that can be scaled for the smallest cold start practice up to a very large multi-location enterprise. We also offer skills testing for both experienced and non-experienced hires to help the owner or manager eliminate poor candidates from consideration or highlight a top talent. We cover everything from ocular anatomy to words typed per minute and spelling. IHR has developed a step-by-step process that an owner can completely customize. They can check in at any time to see the status of each applicant and how things are going, without having to manage the process themselves unless they wanted to. We believe that IHR should be the first place winner because the success of independent optometry is critically tied to our ability to recruit, train, and retain our support staff. Doctors do incredible things for their patients, and we save lives, but we can't do that without our support teams. They represent one of our largest expenses on the P&L and have as much, if not more, influence on our patient's experience in our office than the physician. Our staff have more job options than ever before. If we're going to really compete in the same labor market as Target, Starbucks, and Uber, we need to update how we market our practices and openings to the job market.
So I want to introduce and thank, Peter and Amanda for making it to the final round today. And I want to take a look and see, what's happening here with our judges and our Q&A and get started. So Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, super excited to be here. I love this time of the year. This topic of innovation is obviously near and dear to me. And I want to thank everyone for participating in this year's Optometry Innovation Awards, and of course to Dompe. So guys, first question for you that I'm curious to hear more about, what is next, right? Whenever you're thinking about launching a product, you always have to have some sort of next thing in incubator, right? What's coming next? What feature are you going to release? What area are you going to tackle? So while I know your product right now is probably feels like it's more than enough, right? What are you thinking about is the next step?
There's actually a lot of those.
Yeah, I have a long list.
Yeah, we have a long list, but I think more immediate is going to be getting an API set up so we can partner with other groups that can help with job listings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it. And why is that important for you guys? Why is that most important, I'd say?
I think we'll get the job listings onto other platforms where people can find them, and we need to be able to link our products with the other job board listings to get all that set up so it can be a little bit more seamless.
It's all about saving time for the practice owners and everything, and so trying to integrate this to make it as simple as possible and let them manage everything in one place without having to go to all these different places to we're just trying to streamline it and make it more organized and simple and save time for practice owners who their time is money. So
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. We know the space well, and you're doing a great job there. Antonio, I'll pass it to you. Dr. Trombolo.
Yeah, thanks. And Yeah, I'm curious about some of the challenges that you guys might have faced as you were building, creating your idea, pursuing this venture, and in general, what are some of the challenges do you think prevent innovation in optometry as a whole?
Oh, I definitely think a lot of that is basically people are used to doing it the way it was done.
Yeah.
And that we do need to change. We have to adapt to, I mean, the world is changing so fast on how people, I mean, even all the Zoom calls that's happening, all this, everything's changing. So we need to adapt with that. And that's good. That's a hard point when some people have been working a certain way and on how they do as far as finding staff and all that. And we're trying to basically retool that, how that happens, how that process goes.
The number one thing I got told over and over again was, don't try and change optometry. Don't try, like, it's wasted effort. Optometrists are not interested in innovation or change. Now, I will say Dante and your group is clearly not of the same mindset, but I was told when I started talking to people that they said, just skip optometry and go straight for ophthalmology because optometry is stuck in its ways. It's not going to change. So we got a long hill to climb for sure.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're working to change that. And Coop,
yeah,
pass it off to you here.
All right, thanks, Antonio. So I think it's kind of almost like a segue of what everyone's saying here. We got what's next, what are the challenges? You just mentioned, some of the pain points. So I want to ask you a really easy question. Well, maybe not easy, but like maybe kind of you want to actually inspire others with. And so what is that one piece of advice that you give other innovators within the optometry space? What would you tell them to do next?
I don't know. How would we inspire other creators to go out there and
if we do well.
I hope you're crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
If we can show that you can create new products and change things and change how we do things, that will lead others to think, oh, we can do that too. I mean,
yeah, you do have to be, I think, a little bit out there. I don't know, to believe that this can be done. It's very easy to sit there and say, oh, it's just always that way and that's the way it's always going to be. And it is harder to believe that change can happen.
Yeah, change has happened in other industries, and I think people are beginning.
They never tried to change optometry though.
Yeah, I mean, but the adoption rate to new technologies and new ideas is changing pretty quickly. So I think that it's possible. I mean, at some point you will have to. I mean, you can't keep doing it the same way. I mean, that the old way of having a doctor was the 90% of the patient experience. But now we have so much stuff going on. I have to have so much staff. We need to have the staff be on top of things. Otherwise, the patient experience could plummet. Like they're a big portion of that patient experience when they come in. It's not just the doctor anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spending less time with the patients because of all the, changes that's going on. But staff is super important. Like that's how it is with me. I mean, I have to have a great staff. Otherwise, I'll go nuts myself.
Change is already happening in our industry for staffing, and part of it is I've seen a lot of people go after the outsource, and like there's more and more people just giving up on staff and on the American employee, and they just say, you know what, I can't do it. I'll just outsource it. And I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but I'm not ready to give up yet. And I just think let's try and change it and do it differently, but maybe not give up and throw in the towel, but
innovate.
Let's try something different, guys.
Right. So I think to encapsulate what you're saying there is to obviously think differently, kind of break that mold and pursue the American dream in many ways, what you're saying there. So, all right. So I'm going to hand back over to Amy. Take over for now. Back to you.
Thank you, Peter and Amanda. All right. Next up is finalist number 2, Miriam Labib, with her concept Improve, which is an innovative virtual reality software created to elevate athletic performance. Take a look.
I am an athlete. I am an ex-Division I swimmer at the University of Massachusetts, where I learned the true meaning and dedication of pushing my limits. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and I'm a current third-year optometry student at the New England College of Optometry in Boston, Massachusetts. Introducing Improve, the cutting-edge virtual reality software designed to elevate your visual skills and take your game to the next level. Improve is designed to train your quiet eye, which is the final fixation of your eyes on the ball before it leaves your hand. With Improve, you'll experience real-time feedback on your eye fixation during training. It allows you to make the necessary adjustments to your focus, enhancing your accuracy like never before. But Improve doesn't stop there. For athletes with cross-dominance, like baseball players, archers, or shooters, Improve introduces a revolutionary technique, central deprivation. By imposing central deprivation on your non-dominant eye, it forces your dominant eye to work harder and smarter, delivering unparalleled precision. It's a game changer for those who demand perfection in their sports. Elevate your game, train with precision, unleash the power of your visual system. Welcome to Improve. Now let's talk about why Improve deserves to be the winner of the Optometry Innovation Award. The value proposition of Improve goes far beyond the boundaries of any single sport or their expertise. Combining research, science, and the expertise of someone who's been an athlete, it's about empowerment. Empowering athletes across the world, big or small, amateur or elite, to reach their full potential. In the United States alone, there are 8 million young athletes. These are not just numbers. These are dreams, aspirations, and untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. And I believe that every athlete deserves access to cutting-edge training tools, regardless of their age or experience level. Imagine the impact Improve can have on athletes worldwide. It transcends borders, bringing athletes from different cultures and backgrounds together under one vision, utilizing technology and improving. I believe that Improve deserves to be the winner because it's not only about innovation. It's about the visual system achieving its maximum potential. I am Miriam, an athlete, a future optometrist, and a believer in the power of technology.
Congratulations, Miriam, for making it to the final round. We're going to go ahead and head over to our judges Q&A. So take it away, Coop.
Okay, so Miriam, as a former athlete, I can appreciate what you have brought forth here as far as, pretty much that hand-eye coordination is a crucial part of sports vision. And to me, that's just incredible what you're doing right now. So congratulations as a finalist. And I have a question for you. So my question is, what do you think is the most important thing to have when launching a concept in optometry for innovation?
I think the most important thing to have is commitment and dedication, honestly. It's, a lot of people can come up with ideas, a lot of people can think of new things that can happen, but it's really about committing and dedicating your time to actually creating it and putting in the time to make this idea become more than idea and become a product, become something that can be on the market and be used by the general public.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely on point there. It's an entrepreneurial spirit that really guides you as to where you go next with things. Matt, over to you.
Yeah, no, I love that response. Ideas are definitely plentiful. It's the continued work towards them and the traction and the perseverance through the difficult times that actually make products successful. So spoken like a true entrepreneur. Thanks again, of course, for jumping in on this year's Optometry Innovation Awards. Very excited to have you. My question that I really don't know much about, I mostly live in the software world or the content and media world, but what's a piece of advice you can give to other entrepreneurs around merging hardware and software development, right? Like, is there anything you learned or a big aha that you had that you think you could pass on to others?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot in this experience. I had this idea one day after contact lens lab, actually. We were doing the whole hand and hole test, and I was like, what is the relevance here with sports? And so I looked into some research, found some articles about baseball players, and then I just started getting overly obsessive with it and, thought it could be a good idea to create a software that kind of
develops this athletic training. It definitely was a challenge to figure out, is it a software, is it a hardware? But I think there are tons of great hardwares out there. I mean, Meta and Apple's coming out with one in January. So I think you need to be able to see what features different hardware devices can offer, and is it even practical or is it feasible to outdo these current device hardwares. And if the answer is no, then you kind of want to take the software route. And if the answer is yes, then you take the hardware and software route and kind of create your own. But because of how precise this technology is intended to be, I don't think I could create a hardware that's more precise than what is already on the market.
Yeah, no, that's a great analysis. And I'll pass it over to Antonio, but good luck with boards. You're absolutely an inspiration doing this while in school. It reminds me of the days when I was doing my thing as well. And I just wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And thank you, Miriam. You spoke about commitment in your, when Coop had asked you previously, and, about commitment. On the topic of commitment, where do you find the time, I guess, to make this commitment towards pursuing this project, especially amidst boards and the busyness of school? Where do you find that passion? What has been kind of your North Star, so to speak?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, somebody told me a long time ago, you give a task to a busy person and they'll get it done. That's kind of my life motto. I mean, I'm always that friend that has a lot on her plate, a lot of projects, a lot of research, a lot of school. I have a dog. I'm busy. I work out. And I think that being busy allows me to actually do things that I want to do and allows me to prioritize. I mean, I function mainly on Google Calendar and have everything scheduled. So I think the fact that I am busy is actually what makes me commit more to this, because it allows me to better organize my schedule and make sure that I'm on top of everything, whether it be school, clinic, taking care of my dog, being a good friend, or being a good person. But I think it just comes down to time management and being able to prioritize what's important to you.
Yeah, definitely. A lot to be proud of.
Vera might offer you a job, but I'd rather you pursue your idea right now. So we won't take away from that, but that's the right attitude to have. Good for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Back to you, Amy.
Thank you, Miriam. Last, but certainly not least, our third finalist is Dr. Caleb Abbott and his innovative product, SunSnap Kids, designed to solve the problem of kids losing sunglasses. Let's take a closer look.
Hi, my name is Caleb Abbott. I'm an optometrist and assistant professor of ophthalmology at the University of Colorado and co-founder of SunSnap Kids. Upon moving to Denver in 2018, I quickly noticed that despite us having over 300 days of sunshine here, that kids rarely wore sunglasses. After speaking with parents and conducting surveys, we discovered that the #1 barrier to parents buying sunglasses for their kids is fear that a child would simply misplace or lose their sunglasses. So in 2019, myself and my co-founders set out to solve this problem. Our solution was Snappies, the most innovative pair of kids' sunglasses ever created, and the first pair of sunglasses specifically designed with children in mind. Our competition is only meeting the status quo. While most kids' sunglasses are simply adult pairs that have been made smaller, Snappies are the perfect blend between practicality and playfulness. Snappies feature slap bracelets as simples and have a foldable bridge. This allows the sunglasses to be snapped onto wrists when not being worn, to prevent a child from misplacing or losing their sunglasses. Snappies can be snapped onto bicycle handlebars, grocery carts, car seats, purses, backpacks, pretty much anything. Kids love Snappies because they're specifically designed for them. They're difficult to lose, they fit great, and they're cool. Now, Snappies are fun and playful, but they also provide exceptional protection, blocking 100% of UVA and UVB light, while the lenses are made of an impact-resistant polycarbonate material. The temples are comprised of a spring steel wrapped in a soft silicone for a comfortable feel. And SunSnap Kids offers polarized, non-polarized, and blue blocker pairs. And all this comes at an affordable price point of only $17.99, a small price to pay to protect young and developing eyes from harmful UV light. The World Health Organization estimates that up to half of UV light exposure occurs before the age of 20. As optometrists, we know that UV light exposure predisposes children to a myriad of eye conditions, ranging from premature cataract to eyelid cancers, pingueculae, pterygium, ocular surface inflammation, and many more. It is our goal that every kid in America would have a pair of high-quality sunglasses that they truly feel comfortable wearing. Habitual wear of sunglasses from an early age leads to lifelong protection from UV light. This reduces the chance of UV light-induced ocular disease, which lessens the burden to families and to the overall healthcare system at large. At SunSnap Kids, protecting these young and developing eyes is our top priority, and we delight our customers by providing the best product on the market.
Hello.
Congratulations, Caleb, on your accomplishment and making it to the final round. We're going to head over to our judges and for our live Q&A. And Antonio, if you could get us started.
Yeah, definitely. Caleb, welcome. And, thanks for being here, of course, and really love what you've done here. Really love the product that you've created. But I'm curious, beyond your concept, beyond your product, what are some other areas you think that optometry could really benefit from in regards to innovation?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many problems that we face in the eye care world in general, just so many conditions that we need to treat, so many eyes that we need to protect. And really innovation is what solves problems. And we need people to step up, to not be fearful, to launch products, to not be afraid of failing. And then we need businesses like Eyes on Eye Care to help support people and really foster, people's ingenuity and creativity to come up with solutions to the problems, not only problems that we have today, but problems that we're going to, quickly be encountering in the future. And we need forward thinkers to be, thinking about those future problems and already setting out a mission to try to solve them.
Yeah, definitely agree with all of that. Definitely think it's important to be forward thinking. But Coop, on to you.
All right, so I'm going to, off the hinges of that one, I'm actually going to ask you a question that's very connective to it. And what it is essentially, you mentioned ingenuity, you mentioned that drive towards innovation and what have you, but that does require capital in some respect or another. So my question for you is, beyond these awards today, do you have any suggestions for innovators on how to look for funding?
Oh man, yeah, funding is obviously kind of the limiting factor in most businesses starting off. I mean, we were fortunate enough to be able to self-fund. I think a lot of people, when they're initially launching a business, they're too focused on trying to do too many things all at once. And when you're trying to do that, it ends up costing a whole lot more money than it really needs to cost. And so, I mean, when we launched this product initially, really bare bones. It was, we did all of the research ourselves in terms of like all of the surveys and talking to parents, identifying the problem. And we reached out to so many different suppliers out there to find the, cheapest suppliers that could still provide a high quality product. And then we ordered just a very small number of sunglasses initially. And I think businesses, a lot of times, they get money and then they don't really know what they're doing with it. They don't have a good pro forma and they waste a lot of money initially. So you have to be very focused, making sure that you're not wasting the little bit of funding that you have. There are plenty of different venture capital groups out there that you can contact. And when we first launched our company, we had no shortage of people reaching out to us, wanting to fund it and wanting to give us money for a small stake in the company itself. So there are many eager businesses and individuals out there to help you with funding should you need it. But the real goal should be to try to spend your money wisely initially when you're a small startup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's something where you have to be organized from the start and understand, but also be able to pivot in the same moment in time too. It's not something of which is a static quantity. It's dynamic in nature. The other thing I kind of drew from what you said is to be rather targeted, but also that if you seek it, the money is there. So that's one thing for everyone to kind of think about. All right, Matt, you're up.
Yeah. Those are great questions. I feel like I'm learning a lot this afternoon. Once again, similar question that I asked to Miriam. This is an area I just know very little about, but in terms of a physical product development, like if I was developing an object, I actually wouldn't know where to begin. So how do you go about, did you start with like thinking about CAD drawings, that sort of thing? Did you start with thinking about suppliers and who could supply the materials, and like where does your mind start? What are the first logical steps you go through in actually a physical product being developed?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's very intimidating launching a product for the first time when you don't know anything, and that's the exact position that we are really in. I brought on a team member initially who is an industrial designer, who had a lot of experience with CAD and things like that in designing products. So really initially when we were developing our sunglasses, we really were trying to figure out the exact right dimensions first, because if you get the dimensions wrong, you're going to spend a lot of money on tooling a product that's not going to fit kids. So you have to be very sound in your dimensions and your framework before you spend all the tooling costs. So we actually did a lot of 3D printing of different sizes, this and that. It sounds kind of dumb, but we went to parks nearby where I lived, and I actually tried them on kids, like asked parents, like, is it okay if I try this on, and what's your age? And I have this giant spreadsheet pretty much saying, well, it was a boy that was 7 years old, and with this size, it was slightly too big or slightly too small. And so we really spent a lot of time trying to figure out the exact dimensions initially before we reached out to suppliers, and then before we spent the money on tooling costs.
Love it. Making it seem easy. Yeah, thank you for your application, and so glad to have you here with us today. Amy, back to you.
All right, what a phenomenal group of finalists. Congratulations to Peter, Amanda, Miriam, and Caleb for making it to the final round. While our judges are taking their final remarks into consideration and tallying the scores, it's my honor to introduce you to Jill Paik, KOL and peer-to-peer strategy, Dompe US West. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eyes on 2024. I'm Dr. Amy Ches, your co-moderator, and here today is Jill Paik from Dompe. Jill, thank you for joining us at the Optometry Innovation Awards ceremony. Could you please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about Dompe and what we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for having me here today, Dr. Ches, and we're so excited to be here to support the Eyes On programs. My name is Jill Paik. I am the director of our field marketing team here for Dompe US in the West region. I've been with Dompe for about 4.5 years and really love working for such a wonderful company like Dompe. And I'll tell you a little bit about the history of Dompe and the discovery of nerve growth factor and what we have to come in the future.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about the discovery of NGF or nerve growth factor?
Yeah, absolutely. I love telling this story. It's just so interesting. So really back in the 1950s, a woman by the name of Rita Levi-Montalcini, who was an Italian-American neurologist, along with biochemist Stanley Cohen, isolated and described the chemical that would become known as nerve growth factor at Washington University in St. Louis. And then fast forward about 30 years, in 1986, Rita Levi-Montalcini shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine with Stanley Cohen for that discovery of nerve growth factor. So this work would go on to serve as the foundation of the development of recombinant human nerve growth factor, which is the first product that Dompe would launch here in the US. Today, there is actually a proprietary process in place that allows Dompe to be the only company that is able to produce recombinant human nerve growth factor in-house under GMP conditions.
So how did Dompe come to be connected with NGF?
Yeah, so Dompe really always at the forefront of innovation. Back in 2010, acquired the rights to study, produce, and market nerve growth factor, which at the time was just a protein theorized as a treatment for rare ophthalmic diseases. But this would become the first approved therapeutic application from the studies that won Rita Levi-Montalcini that Nobel Prize back in 1986.
Great. Well, thank you for providing us that foundation and history. Looking forward, what can we expect to come from Dompe in the future?
Yeah, so the Dompe family really has embraced the challenge of science with such passion. And being a privately held company, they've really been able to make decisions decisively and truly focus on the long-term research and development strategies to bring solutions to unmet needs. Dompe is very invested in the growth of our neurotrophins platform. And we've really taken the knowledge of the mechanism of nerve growth factor and furthered our research platform with several ongoing clinical trials and investigational research. So for anyone that would like further information on this, feel free to reach out to Dompe via our usmedinfo@dompe.com email address.
Well, thank you for speaking with us today, Jill. And to everyone joining us, we hope you continue to enjoy Eyes on 2024 and stay tuned for more coming up next. Jill, thanks again so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again to all of our finalists for being here and for your incredible accomplishments in innovation. It is just outstanding. So thank you. Now, all right, everyone, it's the moment that you've been waiting for. The judges have finished their deliberations, and I'm joined today by Dompe Rep Lisa Burdell, who is joining us today to announce our winners. Lisa, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here today and take part in this incredible awards ceremony. And it's my pleasure today to announce the first, second, and third place winners of the 2023 Optometry Innovations Awards. As a reminder, third place winners will receive $7,500. Second place will receive $12,500. And first place will receive a grand prize of $20,000 to further their innovation. And without further ado, here we go. Third place winner is Caleb Abbott with his product Stun Snap Kids. So congratulations, Caleb. Second place winners are Peter and Amanda with IHR, which leaves our grand prize winner in first place, Miriam Labab, and Improved Technology. Congratulations to everybody. It was really amazing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of our finalists for all of their hard work and dedication to providing innovative new ideas to the eye care industry. And I want to have everyone join us back in the exhibit hall, back on the clinical track, and to continue with Eyes on 2024, our final day, number 2.